The jury in Tory Lanez's trial for felony assault has made a decision after deliberating for about 48 hours. On Friday, December 23rd, Lanez was found guilty of all 3 felony charges against him. The singer of Alone at Prom was found guilty of careless use of a handgun, carrying a hidden firearm in his car, and felony assault with a semi-automatic firearm for shooting Megan Thee Stallion in 2020. In the past few weeks, a lot of people have watched the trial between Canadian rapper Tory Lanez and Houston superstar Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion said that Tory Lanez shot her while she was walking in 2020. A Los Angeles jury looked at all the evidence and decided that Tory Lanez was guilty of felony assault with a semi-automatic firearm and having a hidden, unregistered gun. The 3 counts were felony assault with a semi-automatic firearm, possession of a concealed, unregistered firearm, and firing a firearm with gross negligence. Tory Lanez, who used to be known as Daystar Peterson, said in a statement after the verdict was announced, "We are shocked by the verdict. There wasn't enough proof to put Mr. Peterson in jail. We don't think this case was proven beyond all doubt. We will look at all of our options, which may include an appeal." The entire family of Tory Lanez appears to hold Roc Nation responsible rather than the rapper himself for his time spent behind bars and the outcome of his legal dispute with Megan Thee Stallion. On Friday, the rapper's younger sister was seen leaving the courtroom while throwing a temper tantrum. She appeared to be very upset about something, and the adorable and articulate young girl screamed out that she holds Jay-Z's company, Roc Nation, responsible for messing with her brother's reputation. The poor child is clearly suffering, as evidenced by the sound of his voice. Tory Lanez is a Canadian rapper, singer, songwriter, and record producer who was previously serving time in prison. The mixtape Conflicts of My Soul, The 416 Story, which was released in August of 2013, was largely responsible for his initial recognition. Through Interscope Records, Tory Lanez signed a recording contract with record producer Benny Blanco's Mad Love Records in the year 2015. I Told You, 2016, Lanez's first studio album, featured the singles Say It and Love, both of which reached the top 19 spots on the Billboard Hot 100. Say It reached number 23 and Love reached number 19. His second and third studio albums, titled Memories Don't Die and Love Me Now, respectively, were both released in the year 2018. On the US Billboard 200, his fourth studio album, titled Chicks Tape 5 2019, reached its highest position at number 2. His fifth studio album, titled Daystar, was released the following year in 2020. The album debuted at number 10 on the Billboard 200 chart and featured content that was deemed controversial due to the revelations that he had shot fellow rapper Megan Thee Stallion earlier that year. Lanez has been nominated for a Grammy Award for his song Love, which he released in 2016, and he's also won 4 Juno Awards throughout his career. On December 23, 2022, the Los Angeles County Superior Court found Lanez guilty of 3 charges related to his attack on Megan Thee Stallion in 2020. Assault with a semi-automatic firearm, having a loaded and unregistered firearm in a vehicle, and discharging a firearm with gross negligence. These charges were all related to the fact that Lanez used a firearm during the attack. Following that, he was hauled off to jail. He faces a possible sentence of up to 22 years in prison. Roc Nation is in charge of Megan Thee Stallion's professional career, and according to reports, there were representatives from the agency present at the trial. Following the announcement of the guilty verdicts, Lanez's biological father, Sonstar Peterson, filed a lawsuit against Roc Nation. "I'll tell you exactly how I feel. I got some names I want to call out," said Sonstar Peterson outside the courthouse last week. Alex Spiro, Roc Nation CEO, Desiree Perez, and the whole evil Roc Nation system, including you, Jay-Z. Sonstar Peterson also thought that Roc Nation might not like Tory Lanez because the rapper and singer didn't sign a contract with a record label. As of the time this was written, no one had shown any proof to back up that claim. The Roc Nation conspiracy theory was not believed by many people on social media. People on Twitter have made fun of the idea that Jay-Z's company somehow swayed the judge, the jury, and the whole legal system to put Tory Lanez in jail. Claudia Jordan, who hosts Cocktails with Queens, has been one of Megan Thee Stallion's loudest supporters and one of Tory Lanez's loudest critics. The former cast member of The Real Housewives of Atlanta made fun of Sonstar Peterson's defense of his son, which was based on rumors of a plot. Nina Parker, who hosts Nightly Pop, gave her own take on the supposed plan by Roc Nation to frame Tory Lanez. She wrote on Twitter, "Half the people who work for Roc Nation can't even get into the Roc Nation branch, but they definitely run the LA Superior Court." Kodak Black says that Megan Thee Stallion and Jay-Z, who is in charge of her new record label, set up the case against Tory Lanez, who is now a convicted felon waiting to be sentenced to a term that could be long. On the Friday before Christmas in 2022, a Los Angeles County jury found Lanez guilty of 3 serious felonies related to the shooting in the summer of 2020 that hurt Megan's feet. He could spend up to 22 years in prison and then be sent back to Canada, where he was born. The Super Gremlin rapper criticized Megan and the CEO of Roc Nation for ruining the career and reputation of a good man. "Dude, this isn't right. Tory Lanez is good, bro. Homie, if I'd gone out, nobody would talk about it and nobody would act like this didn't even happen." Kodak kept getting mad on his social media apps, saying that framing the man right before the most important holidays of the year was cruel and heartless. Of course, he got some backlash right away for his careless words, especially when his alleged mistakes are taken into account. Megan Cuniff, a reporter for Law and Crime, said that after the verdict was read, Lanez's father and stepmother got into a disturbing fight in the courtroom. Cuniff said that sheriff's deputies arrested Lanez right away and cuffed him as they led him out of the courthouse. 2 were at the door and the other 4 were behind Lanez. The police had to stop the father and stepmother of the rapper at that point. In the audience, another woman raised her hand and kept saying, "In the name of Jesus." "This is a wicked system," yelled Lanez's father. Cuniff wrote that he also shouted about Roc Nation and called the prosecutors evil. Tory's dad continued to talk as they stood outside of the courthouse. While being filmed, he was overheard exclaiming to a crowd of his supporters, "This is not over. It isn't over until it's over. God does not lose. I have no doubt that this is a sinful act. Roc Nation, you're on the verge of collapse." Lanez's dad is pissed off at Jay-Z because he thinks that the record producer has something sinister in store for his son, and he believes that Jay-Z is behind it. He called out to Jay-Z saying, "Jay-Z, let me talk to you, mainly due to the fact that my kid wouldn't sign a contract with Roc Nation, and Desiree Perez, you rat, you wicked witch." After that, he mentioned that Stallion had recently signed a contract with Roc Nation. Also yelling at the camera was Lanez's stepmother, who said things to the effect of, "Beyonce and Jay-Z, you have children. That means you're responsible for sending other people to jail, correct? You have kids. The Lord is aware of everything." During the proceedings in court, Lanez's daughter as well as other members of the family were present. Megan Thee Stallion testified earlier in the trial that on the evening of July 12, 2020, Lanez shot her in the feet while he was in a drunken rage. She stated that the incident occurred on July 12th. After leaving Kylie Jenner's pool party, Megan, her former assistant Kelsey Harris, and Tory got into a heated argument that quickly turned into a bloody fight. The argument began shortly after they left the party. Megan alleged that Lanez had made the 2 of them an offer of $1 million to remain silent. TMZ reports that the rapper faces a possible prison sentence of up to 22 years and 8 months, after which he may be deported to his country of origin. On January 27th, an evidentiary hearing will take place to determine the appropriate punishment for him. Well, thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out these videos.